This morning, we're honored to be joined by Senator Pete Harckham, who represents New York's 40th Senate District, encompassing portions of Westchester, Dutchess, and Putnam counties. And Senator Harckham is going to give us an update on what's happening in Albany with the budget and some COVID-related legislation that may be working its way through the various houses up there. So I want to welcome Senator Harckham this morning. I want to thank him very much for joining us and turn the floor over to him for some comments and remarks.
Michael, thank you very much for the invitation. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Couple of things, just right out of the gate. My office has been handling just hundreds and hundreds of unemployment claims. The state's unemployment system was antiquated to begin with. It was set up for about 1,000 contacts a week. And when we were getting 200, 300,000 contacts a week, it created quite a backlog. So constituents have been calling us. If you have employees who need assistance, who've been waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks, my phone number, I typed into the chat. It's 914-241-4600. We're happy to be of assistance. And if you're not in our district, that's okay. Either we'll help or we'll put you in touch with the appropriate Senate office. But we've got 9 people working the phones pretty much 7 days a week. It's really concerning that so many people have been shut out for so long. So we're helping to work through that backlog. Michael asked me to give you a brief update on what's going on with the budget. Obviously, the budget that we started on was not the budget we finished with, as we saw sales tax revenue disappear, income tax pushed to July, revenues dropped precipitously. So what had started out as an ambitious fiscal plan became a much more cautious one with several caveats in it. Number one, the big caveat was we knew revenues would continue to decline. So there's provision in the budget that 3 times throughout the year, the budget director would make an analysis of revenues versus expenditures. That first one happened at the end of April. We were down $13.6 billion is what the delta is. And by law, we need to have a balanced budget. We're not like the federal budget that can print money. We can't carry a deficit. So the governor and his team, we suspect within a week or two, will be releasing their plan on how they want to address this. Then the legislature, the Assembly, and the Senate have 10 days to either agree to that or come up with our own alternatives to that. So the short is, where do those cuts come from? You know, they would come from education, Medicaid, or aid to municipalities. That's essentially where they would come from. We tried very hard in the budget to maintain education spending at least at last year's levels, as we did with our aid to local government. So what you're going to hear from the Washington folks afterwards is so vital, because New York State absolutely needs federal assistance since revenues have disappeared, expenditures have increased due to the response to coronavirus. And unfortunately, if we don't get that assistance, it falls downward. So we cut, and then the counties and the municipalities would have to cut. And those would be vital services we're talking about.